Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalam ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome all viewers. Today I'd like to talk about what's going on in Lebanon. For those of you who are not familiar, Lebanon is a small country just north of Palestine. CNN published an article on September 19th saying Israel says new era of war is beginning after devices exploded across Lebanon. The article goes on to say Israel says its war focus is moving north, tacitly acknowledging its role in shock twin attacks on Hezbollah in which pagers and walkie-talkies used exploded across Lebanon on consecutive days. NPR published an article September 20th, Did exploding pagers attack on Hezbollah in Lebanon violate international law? The article says the series of explosions that rocked Lebanon this week, killing dozens and wounding thousands, has prompted heated debate among legal experts on international humanitarian law. Now, it's interesting, Israel always seems to be accused of breaking international humanitarian law, it seems. Many, but not all, of the pagers and walkie-talkies that unexpectedly blew up over 2 days across Lebanon and in some neighboring countries were in the possession of Hezbollah fighters, functionaries, or allies. The group is designated as a terrorist organization by several nations, including the United States, but many of its members and supporters operate in civilian areas across Lebanon, and some of the explosions left innocent bystanders, including children, injured or dead. I'm really sorry to say, but considering what Israel did to Gaza, why would anyone at this point think that they would hesitate for a second to injure, kill, displace innocent people, including children? Israel has not officially acknowledged playing a role in the explosions, but a U.S. official who was not authorized to speak publicly told NPR that Israel notified Washington that it was responsible for Tuesday's attacks. And while many people might just now be learning about what's going on in this part of the world, there's a long history of this sort of behavior coming from Israel. For example, September 18th, 2024, there was an article published 42 years ago today, the Sabra and Shatila massacre. Yet another time, U.S. and Israel's interests diverged. Tel Aviv backed a slaughter of Palestinians to keep the peace. This week marks the 42nd anniversary of the massacres in the Sabra and Shatila refugee camps in West Beirut. Beirut, by the way, is the capital of Lebanon. The massacres were carried out by the Israel-backed Christian Phalangist militia. Estimates of the number of Palestinian and Lebanese slaughtered during the roughly 36-hour rampage range from 700 at the very low end to more than 3,000, almost all of them civilians, the vast majority women, children, and elderly. So again, this was 42 years ago. This sort of behavior is nothing new. However, what is new are such tactics as exploding pagers. The Washington Post refers to this tactic as a red button plot, meaning there could be some sort of dormant weapon that they press the red button on to activate. So imagine the anxiety that the people of Lebanon must feel. Talk about terror. CNN even published a video showing the damage that these exploding pagers can have. So with all that said, I make dua for my brothers and sisters in Lebanon and in Palestine and across the world who are facing such an indescribable situation. And I want to remind all of us of the following hadith. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Nothing afflicts a Muslim of hardship or illness or anxiety or sorrow or harm or distress, not even the pricking of a thorn, except that Allah will expiate their sins by it." And the Prophet ﷺ said, the believing men and women continue to be under trial in their lives, their children, and their wealth until they meet Allah without any sin. So we make dua for our brothers and sisters. May Allah help them. May Allah comfort them. And for every single speck of anxiety that they feel, any type of harm, distress, hurt that they're experiencing, that Allah just make it a means for them to be higher and higher in rank in the hereafter, and may Allah grant them Jannatul Firdaus. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.